Ah, there you are. I was worried you weren't coming. Everything is a choice. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Now, let's get a move on while we can. I brought you something. Look into my eyes. There. Now wait. Wait. Ah. Now speak.
There. That's a bit more familiar. So, go on. Pretty. One of the gods, Losa dear. Come on, keep up. You can see spirits now. Try it next time you cut some innocent to bits. You'll be able to find out just what their sweet little soul thinks of you. We can't let the other Godwoken outpace you, can we? They'll be meeting one of the seven, camping out within their own souls, you know. Shriveled, half-dead gods looking to steal source from their chosen, in exchange for the power to see spirits. They need source, and they're running out of it. Soon enough, they'll be little more than dead, dry husks, light enough to knock down with a puff of air. That is, unless they get help. Why would they want you? You think the gods have any use for a two-bit singer with a parade of unpredictables marching through her head? You may be Godwoken, but that doesn't make you worthy. But that doesn't matter, Losa. I saw something special in you. Something they didn't see. That's enough. Ingratitude doesn't become you, Losa. Look what you can do. You can bless. You can see the spirits of the world. When will you believe that all I want is to see you, to see us, succeed? The void itself is hunting down the gods, leeching them in ways I only dreamed were possible. Drop by drop, they drain away, and the gods have gone into hiding within your fellow Godwoken. They seek to become what we are, stronger together, unstoppable together. But we are the Well of Ascension. Has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Aren't you listening? The Well is a pool of pure source in which the powers of the seven lie united. The seven, fools that they are, each gave up half their powers to create the first divine. To bathe in the lake is to become divine. We'll do more than that, though. Feeling thirsty. The gods are weak. Weaker than I expected. The void is nearly here. You need to go to the Well of Ascension and absorb the source of the seven. All of it. Then you'll become a god. How does that sound? Without me, you would have died in a shipwreck before you even got to Fort Joy. I have been good to you, Losa. Remember, the world needs someone to... We'll make our way to the lake, but not yet. Not until you've become a true master of the Source. You'll need to learn to speak the language of creation itself. It won't be easy. You'll need to find tutors, masters of the Source. People who can teach you to increase the volume of Source you can control. Few remain, and the ones who do have been driven to the brink of survival. The Order has made certain of that. Still, I have full faith in you, Losa. You'll find them, and you'll convince them to teach you. Once you have, find me here again. We'll move forward from there. I'll remember you said that. Till next time, darling.
The Meister stares intently at you. Her eyes are tired and bruised, but determined.
Still alive? Gods above, there might be something to you after all.
She leans in, her bloody tongue flickering hungrily about your face.
Tell me, what did you see? What you know?
She stares intently for a moment, taking in every detail before sighing deeply.
You didn't have enough source, did you? You had all the materials, but not the source. That is unfortunate. I know exactly what must be done. You must find a master of source. And I could have helped you once, but no longer. The purging which the Magisters included as part of their service was quite efficient. They stripped me of my source. Not enough to silence me, but enough that I would not turn their insides to lime. Enough to sever my link to the font from which all source flows, and certainly enough that I cannot train you. So we must seek alternatives. Alas, the only source masters not yet hauled off to Fort Joy or turned into meat puppets are those too dangerous or cunning for the Magisters to contain. Sorcerers that allowed their power to corrupt them. Many are wicked, cruel, vile, and generally not good teacher material, but we may have no others to turn to. Just so, some of these are quite dark, twisted individuals. The kind of creatures that grew bored pulling their legs from spiders and so moved on to people. However, it is the path we walk, no matter what the cost. No matter what is asked of you.
The Meister doubles over in a violent coughing fit, struggling for breath. After a few moments, she regains her composure, wiping a thin smear of blood from the corner of her mouth.
No matter what is asked of you, you must learn from them. The Magisters have kept ledgers with all known sorcerers, especially the powerful ones not yet captured. They would be an invaluable resource. But do be careful not to get caught. I was their guest for a time, and I promise you the gallows was the most comfortable part of the experience. And if their barracks turns out to be as empty as their skulls, just try to keep an ear to the ground. There may still be powerful sorcerers hiding in these lands.
As she speaks, one of her wounds reopens, a dark red stain spreading across her tunic. She hisses in frustration and starts to bind the gash.
I wish there was more I could do, but in this condition, I would be more a hindrance than a boon.
The spirit of an elegant elven woman materializes before you. She seems surprised.
You can see me. A god woken in my presence. You honor me.
The spirit looks at you regretfully.
It is hard to hear of such power and not covet it for yourself. I lie to myself and convince myself that I am special. But I am not special. I am dead.
Lucky find.
Let it be known henceforth to each and every subject here and everywhere that, in the absence of our beloved Alexander, Bishop Divine, slain with malice and injustice by foul sorcerers, as were let fly by the perfidious lizards of the ancient empire, with the aid and abettancy of the treacherous dwarven kingdom, the Divine Order of Lucian is now led by his son's most trusted intimate and advisor, Dallis, Hammer of the Divine, Savior of the Sorcerers, and new deliverer of the peoples of Rivellon. The Hammer shall take counsel from her most trusted advisors. Hail to the Hammer, 7 times blessed.
Trusted advisors, eh? Who do you think it is? The Void Dragon, Damien, Leandra, and Allthring?
I have to stop these disappearances.
The Magister startles, realizing there's a stranger in his midst.
What do you want? You can't just come in here as you please. There's Magisters missing. I'm trying to conduct a bloody investigation. Get yourself together. We still have cells for you to be thrown into. Now answer me, why are you here? Well, mind your bloody step in future. I've an investigation to carry out, and I don't need any more distractions. Yes, a vile little tinkerer goes by the name of Higba. 3 of my Magisters have gone missing of late from right here in Driftwood. All signs are that Higba is responsible. Catching, killing, I don't care. There'll be gold for whoever puts an end to this rat. If you see anything, tell me or my men at once. Otherwise, keep that... Well, do you know anything? Stop wasting my time, then.
I'm watching you, stranger.
I need those reports down.
Magister Carver's got all the information he needs locked up downstairs, so don't think you'll get a reward for peddling hearsay. Of course, sir. Right away.
I have to stop these disappearances.
Well,
Why
there's a fun face. Byron and I are patching up before we head home. Hope the Order folks are treating you. You stay out of trouble now.
Of course, sir.
Fetch me some
Right
more.
away.
The spirit of a Magister stares dumbly at her translucent hand, the fingers of which have been sheared off.
My ring! Where's my ring?
The spirit doesn't answer. She just stares at you mournfully. The spirit looks at you with the smallest flicker of realization.
I was still alive when she started cutting pieces off me. She wanted me to feel it. All of
The spirit inclines her head towards the kitchen. The spirit ponders your question and seems to shiver.
Oh, in many places. I feel my body in 100 moving graves, warm and wet.
The cook acknowledges you with a small bow, an oddly formal gesture given the surroundings.
Please, madam, you should not be back here. It's not safe. Sharp knives, boiling liquids, sharp tempers. Don't underestimate the dangers here. Now, please, I must insist. You should speak to Loverick if you want food.
I've spotted something.
Please, I must insist you keep out of my kitchens. It's not safe for you to wander about like this.
The cook acknowledges you with a small bow and...
Pipe down, will you?
See the cook, stew, friendo.
Please, sir, you should not be back here. It's not safe.
The cook dutifully ladles a bowl full of stew and carries the bowl slips from her grasp. Scalding hot stew splashes all over you.
Sincere apologies. I must return to my work now.
A prim woman in a starched apron wipes a glass with a clean rag. She pins you with blue, steel-sharp eyes as you approach the bar.
Blessings upon our Lucian, 7 times divine.
With surprising agility for a woman of her age, she reaches over the bar and swings a hand toward your face. You brace yourself for the incoming blow, but she instead points her finger into your face.
We don't speak of His Holiness that way in this establishment. Well, ye can't be blamed if your mother didn't teach you any better. But that can't be helped now, I suppose. Not everyone received the same education as my Niles. He's a magister, mind. We've only got amber ale, I'm afraid. Can't spare the potatoes for hard alcohol. If you'd like something that'll stick to your ribs, I'd flag down Loverick and get yourself a bowl of the house stew. Coming right up, darling?
He fixes you with a stare, looks you up and down, weighs you up, the cut of your cloth, the weight of your bag. A moment passes. Then a smile creases his face, a smile carefully constructed to look friendly and authentic, a smile that doesn't reach his eyes.
Greetings, stranger. Looking to ease the pain of a decaying world? You're in the right place. Beers are ordered at the bar, but can I interest you in a nourishing bowl of stew? A bold choice, on the face of it, unless you're looking for something a little more tantalizing than a meaty stew and a mildly alcoholic brew.
He raises an eyebrow and gives you a sly look.
Who shall rise? Who gains the title Most Divine? We wait, we wander and wonder, seeking signs from the gods. Paradise against all odds.
Is the greater good?
I don't think you know even a smaller good if it bit you on the arse.
You have interrupted my newest masterpiece.
The bard clears his throat as though to continue, but suddenly stops short.
Wait a moment. You're the Losa at my home tavern? Be still, my wretched, wretched heart. The mistress of song is here. A fan, madam? Oh, no. It isn't that I enjoy your work. I live my own with the singular hope of producing anything like that which you have done. Please, would you let me compose a poem for you? It would be the most tremendous honor. It will be the finest piece I've ever composed. Of this, I am most certain. When the mornings are darkest and my crown tolls the terrible knell, when the beer ate my soul and there's tar in my wishful mind's well, I look to the day I heard Losa the many-tongued sing. Because owning a head is a terrible thing. Owning a head is a terrible thing. In a small country valley, after the grain harvest failed, there was little to sing about in the poor village of Dark Vale. Grown up, you bastards! Losa is coming to sing.
What would I do without you? Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? Then you're an idiot.
You've got a pick who you can trust.
You got that right, Helga. You got that right.
I'll need to get clever with this
And
lock.
I'm saying you can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away. And you can't be too careful, you know? If they can get Alexander, they can get any of us.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy.
Right as rain, Helga.
The devil are you staring at?
Ps5
steel shivers.
Quite so, my lord, quite so. The atmosphere in here is, spooky.
Spooky? Pull yourself together, man. Or should I check the cupboards for ogres?
That's quite all right, my lord.
The town is poor, but this room is rich.
Hard a port. Can't you hear the bells are ringing?
A ghostly seaman stares at the captain, his lip curled in a malevolent grin, his eyes wide with hate, and all the time he rings his bell. He registers your presence. His head swivels towards you.
Are you her, woman, or sail you with us? Then you won't sail with her. She ran the ship upon the rocks, although I rang the bell. That light weren't no lighthouse. I rang the bell in warning, and she ran the ship upon the rocks.
You got that right.
You ran the ship upon the rocks, Captain, and all the crew were drowned.
The ghost swivels his head back to the sea captain. The bell rings on.
You're right about that. Right as rain.
Take the wheel, Captain! Take the wheel!
Bell rings a warning and the tide is on the turn.
The ghostly seaman rings his bell. His hate to...
Are you her, woman, or sail you with us? Then you won't sail with her. She ran the ship upon the rocks, although I rang the bell. That light weren't no light. You ran the ship upon...
The ghost swivels his head back to the sea captain.
Rocks ahead, Captain. Do you hear me?
A weathered woman in a dirty sea captain's tunic babbles breathlessly to herself, and somewhere nearby you hear a bell ringing.
The bell rings a warning and the tide is on the turn. And I without my compass.
You've got a pick and you can trust.
You got that right, Hilka. You got that right.
The ship is in the locker. On the bottom in the rocky shallows. And all are drowned but me.
And you can't be too careful,
And yet,
you know?
can you hear? The bell rings on. The bell haunts me yet, and it would drive me mad. I'm haunted by my crew. They ring the bell to drive me mad. Please, make it stop.
She buries her head in her hands and cries.
Make it stop.
Rocks ahead, Captain.
The ghostly seaman rings his bell, his hate directed at his captain. He turns to you.
Spoke to the lady, Captain, didn't you? I seen you cozying up. Are you her, woman, or sail you with us? I'm doing my duty here, I am. I'm the lookout, and I'm ringing the bell. Rocks ahead, Captain. There's no lighthouse here. Rocks ahead! Ha 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 ha!
You got that right, Hilka. You got that right.
And I'm on duty here. There are rocks ahead, and the captain must know it.
He blinks once, twice. A single salty tear drips from one ghostly eye. The bell falls silent. He raises a finger to his temple in salute and fades away. She babbles breathlessly on, barely aware you're there. and nearby sounds of...
My ears are still a-ringing. And I have you to thank for it? Then thank you, I surely do. That accursed bell lies with the Peacemaker, on the bottom in the rocky shallows. My compass lies there too. The compass surely lies on the bottom, near where the ship was wrecked. Take it with my blessing, if you can find it. My sailing days are done. Let me mark your chart. But you be warned. Stay off the wreck itself. Let her lie as a monument to her dead crew, and as testament to my mistake.
You got that right, Hilga. You got that right.
She goes white as the proverbial ghost.
You've got no call to go looking for no cargo. Far as anyone's concerned, we sailed with an empty hold, and if there's anything left to salvage, you leave it where it is. Heed me. Leave the cargo of the Peacemaker alone.
She turns away. Conversation over.
I could go downstairs for a bit of stew?
Absolutely not. The coffers, man. The coffers, they're to be guarded day and night.
Yes, of course. Of course, my lord.
You've got to pick who you can trust.
You got that right, Hilga. You got that right.
And I'm saying you can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away. And you can't be too careful, you know? If they can get Alexander, they can get any of us.
You're right about that. Right as rain, Hilga.
What the devil are you staring at?
Your beard, my lord.
You've got to pick who you can trust.
You got that right, Hilga. You got that right.
And I'm saying you can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away. And you can't be too careful, you know? If they can get Alexander, they can get any of us.
You're right about that. Right as rain, Hilga.
Why do you shiver so? This room is tempting.
She stares off into the distance at some unseen horizon, ignoring you completely.
You've got to pick who you can trust.
You got that right, Hilga. You got that right.
And I'm saying You can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away. And you can't be too careful, you know? If they can get Alexander, they can get any of us.
You're right about that. Right as rain, Hilga.
Doesn't this room strike you as eerie? There's a chill in the air, a deeper darkness in the shadows. But, of course, I should hold my tongue and stand guard. All's well as long as my lord's coffers are safe.
Here now, when one's in a small town, one must expect small-town manners, I see. Have you a reason for barging into my room, sir? No harm done, I suppose. Though why I pay good money for these so-called bodyguards is another question entirely. Still, I may as well introduce myself. Baron Levere, at your service. Travels, you say? And why would you assume I'm a traveling man?
He laughs heartily.
Of all things, I wouldn't have thought my boots would give me away, but you're quite right, of course. I am traveling, yes, to Arx. Lucian's Day will be upon us soon, a celebration no man with a heart that is both as pious and mercantile as mine should miss. I go because it is every citizen's duty, our communal obligation to chant the rites of the return and pray for Lucian's divine resurrection. That said, I do have more secular motivations as well. Arx positively overflows with pilgrims during the festival, pilgrims and their purses. As a merchant, it is quite my favorite day of the year. Music to my ears. A happy accident after all, you're barging into my room. If there's anything else you need, know you're always welcome. I'm a wealthy man, and wealthy men need protection, especially if they accompany their wealth. The merchant's burden, you see. He must escort his merchandise, always.
And I'm saying, you can trust me. I can see
I am Baron Levere. I am Baron Levere, not he. Not he. I am Baron Levere. No, an imposter is he. A lone wolf in my own sheep's clothing. Bejeweled is he with a false name. Draped is his back with a false mantle. Bedecked are his cheeks with a false beard. Murderer, thief, imposter. I am Baron Levere. A rival's revenge? Another merchant's madness? Oh, the fever of gold is reason's bane. But it matters no longer what drove them to daggers. It matters who drove them into my flesh. You who hears the laments of the dead, avenge me. Kill the false baron. Give me back my name. Please, avenge me.
Go on, sun's out. You really want to be in here? Better watch yourself, lass.
You've got to pick who you can trust.
You got that right, Helga. You got that right.
And I'm saying, you can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away. And you can't be too careful, you know? If they can get Alexander.
Here now. When one's in a small town, one must have you a reason for barging into my room, madam? Which is what killed the cat. Still, no harm done, I suppose. I may as well introduce myself. Baron Levere. Of course they are. I'm a wealthy man, and wealthy men need protection. It's the merchant's burden, you see. He must escort his merchandise, always. The imposter is dead. My name is mine once more. You who succors the souls of the dead, I thank you. I am Baron Levere. In the halls, I'll be Baron Levere.
Careful now. I'll need to get clever with this lock.
Got a picker you can trust.
You got that right, Hilka. You got that right.
And I'm saying,
I'm telling you, if they got nothing to hide, they got nothing to be scared of.
Yeah? You're good with the Magisters caging anyone up that looks at them funny.
Damn right. I got a right to live, don't I? Throw me in a hole for You sneak If they got nothing to hide, they got nothing to be scared of.
Caging anyone up that looks at them funny.
Damn right. I got a right to live, don't I? Throw them in a hole for all I care. You sneak right if
I don't really know even a small little one who bit you on the arse.
I'm telling you, if they got nothing to hide, they got nothing to be scared of.
Yeah? You're good with the Magisters caging anyone up that looks at them funny.
Damn right. I got a right to live, don't I? Throw them in a hole for all I care. You sneak right if good.
I don't really know even a small little good if it bit you on the arse.
Telling you, if they got nothing to hide, they got nothing to be scared of.
Yeah? You're good with the Magisters caging anyone up that looks at them funny.
Damn right. I got a right to live, don't I? Throw them in a hole for all I care. You sneak right if good.
I don't really know even a small little good if it bit you on the arse.
Telling you, if they got nothing to hide, they got nothing to be scared of.
Yeah? You're good with the Magisters caging anyone up that looks at them funny.
Damn right. I got a right to live, don't I? Throw them in a hole for all I care. You sneak right if good.
Wink. I don't really know even a small little good if it bit you on the arse.
I'm sure you don't have to witness this sudden ill.
And there's blood in my wishful mind as well. I look to the day I heard closer and I learned that a heart is
I'm telling you, if they got nothing to hide, they got nothing to be scared of.
Yeah? You're good with the Magisters caging anyone up that looks at them funny.
Damn right. I got a right to live, don't I? Throw 'em in a hole for all I care. It's the greater good.
I don't know even a smaller good if it bit you on the arse.
Hold it. Papa no, you no go.
He grins, unpleasantly.
Loha didn't tell me to let any pretty lady in, so why should I? You can't buy my friendship. But you can buy 10 seconds of me eyeballs examining the ground for, let's say, a small fortune. You look...
He pockets the coin and gazes dramatically at the ground.
I've spotted something.
Look at that. A fresh face. And a pretty little kisser it is, too.
Hail, what a pretty young thing you are. Call me Dorothea.
She draws close. You feel her breath on your neck, hot, moist.
Oh yes. I have something that you want. But I only bargain with those I deem deserving. Those who have accomplished great things. So, are you worthy of my gift? Love. I must consider your merits before I answer your questions. Why, I wouldn't tease you with a gift I could never offer. You don't think me cruel, do you? If you swam your way here, I might consider that a notable triumph. But honey, I know you didn't swim. You'll have to give me something more impressive than that. Surely you've accomplished something of note. Indeed? This is acceptable. You are nearer the one than most self-described heroes I've known. So, tell me, are you ready for me to grant you your greatest desire? Oh, make no mistake. Your body would be to my taste. But I am interested in probing deeper. You have a need. To expose it, look into my ring and tell me what you see there. Gaze into the gem, my lovely girl.
She flashes her ring at you, and you stare at the luminescent stone at its center. You are floating on a current of pure source, surrounded by a kaleidoscope of colors and fuzzy images. On the horizon looms a dark silhouette. As you approach, a beam of light washes the shadow away, revealing to you...
Yes. I see you clearly now. A true warrior. You desire great strength. To you, an armed legion is merely a wall of flesh, ready to have a path carved through it. I will fulfill this desire. In return, I ask for one thing in return. A kiss. Most delicious. Meet me around the corner, and come alone. An audience is not required.
Dorothea sees you and heaves a shuddering sigh. She bites into her lower lip with enough force that a drop of blood seeps out. Blood and something else, something green.
Darling, I admit I wish we could share more carnal pleasures. Yet I think a kiss is the height of intimacy. Now come closer and receive your soul's desire.
You draw closer and close your eyes, eager to feel her lips on yours. Yet her lips do not press against yours, and her hands do not caress your face. She is a woman no longer, but a were-spider. Her fang painlessly sinks into your neck. You still hear her words, though they sound muffled, as if filtered through a glass wall.
You desired strength, and so my venom gives it to you. We part ways now. I'll remember this moment. You've seen my true self. There's nothing more to know.
She kisses her forefinger, then presses it against your forehead.
Now go. Hail, darling. Call me Dorothea.